Women in History. Today's episode. Moms Mabley. Moms Mabley's birth name was Loretta Mary Aiken. She was born on March 19, 1894 in North Carolina. She was one of 16 children. Her father owned multiple businesses, and her mother was a homemaker while renting out rooms to potential tenants. When she was 14 years old, she ran away from home to Cleveland, Ohio, and joined a traveling minstrel show, where she sang and entertained. In the following year, her father experienced a freak accident while he was working as a volunteer firefighter. He was killed when a fire engine exploded. To make things worse, a few years later, her mother was run over by a truck on Christmas Day. Early in her career, Loretta adopted the stage name of Jackie Mabley, after an old boyfriend by the name of Jack Mabley. During her rise to fame, she was a part of what was called the Chitlin Circuit. The Chitlin Circuit was a collection of venues throughout the East, the South, and the Midwestern parts of the United States where African American performers were accepted, because during this era, right up through the 1960s, racial equality was still a controversial issue, even in the world of entertainment. Unfortunately, as a woman of color, her wages were small compared to her male counterparts. She made her debut in Harlem, New York City, as a stand-up comedian. In 1921, Mabley came out of the closet as a lesbian, when she was 27 years old. She wore clothing that suggested both masculine and feminine images, and recorded many lesbian stand-up routines. In 1939, she was the first female comic to perform at the Apollo Theater. In the 1950s, Mabley adopted the name, Moms. To polish her stand-up image, she would wear a floppy hat and appear toothless. In her routine, she would tackle issues like racism, politics, and sexuality. She appeared at Carnegie Hall, made appearances on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, had a top 40 hit at 75 years of age with her rendition of Abraham Martin and John, and opened for Ike and Tina Turner. She had 6 children, and placed 2 of them up for adoption as a teenager. Jackie Moms Mabley died from a heart attack on May 23, 1975 in White Plains, New York. She was 81 years old. We honor her achievements as a trailblazer in women's history.